Hey everyone, this is Jack with another podcast and with my special guest.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle. How you doing?
Um, we're doing good.
We are doing our best.
Yeah, we did. What is it that they say in Jim Carrey's The Grinch? We did our worst, and that's all that matters. So I think the last one we did was pretty successful, at least pretty well done.
It was good. It was a fun time.
Yeah, we talked about Halloween movies that we like watching around Halloween. Duh. And Kyle had the idea. Kyle, do you want to explain what your idea was?
Yeah, I was thinking we do the same thing. Do three choices, but this time we'll do Halloween TV specials.
Yeah.
Could be 30-minute episodes. Could be movies, made for TV movies.
Yeah.
As long as they're Halloween related and we like them.
Yeah, and you can get mad at us if there's any we did not pick.
Oh yeah, there's a ton. There's like probably name like 50 right
Dude,
now.
I went on the Wikipedia page and for Halloween specials, there was like a huge list. So freaking Knight Rider, which I've done episodes on, had a Halloween special.
One of my choices, one of my choices was supposed to be the Halloween episode for Boy Meets World. I remember that when I was a kid, it creeped me out. But you know.
Do you want to talk about at least one or two of the runner-ups?
Oh well, that was one. I guess if you want to go classic, you could say the SpongeBob Halloween episode. Remember where he like shaves his head?
That was on my list originally too.
Really?
Yeah. It was like SpongeBob Scaredy Pants or something like that.
Yeah, he like shaves his head so he's more round.
And he has a brain. It's like, oh, what's that on your head? Oh, it's just my brain.
That was a good one. Yeah, that's a classic.
On my runners-up, I had one of the Goosebumps episodes. I had the Haunted Mask, specifically.
I had that on VHS.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that one was super creepy.
That one was creepy.
Where the masks like float at her and they chase her around.
Yeah, one of the masks gets stuck on her head.
Oh, it was creepy.
Another runner-up was... I don't even remember now. SpongeBob was on the list, though, I remember.
Did you... this is going to be a spoiler if I get it correctly. Did you pick any Twilight Zone?
No, because here's the thing. I had a channel growing up, and it showed a lot of old shows, but I mainly just watched Star Trek, the original series. I didn't dislike Twilight Zone. It never interested me as much as Star Trek.
Huh, I get that. I watched a lot of Twilight Zone because I think we had like a bunch of random episodes on VHS, but I didn't pick any Twilight Zone. I didn't pick any Are You Afraid of the Dark. I didn't pick any
Goosebumps?
Goosebumps, no. I didn't do any of those.
I went specifically for Halloween-themed ones.
Yeah, same.
And I had a thing where I was trying desperately to remember a lot of the ones from my childhood. Like, Hey Arnold, I don't remember the Halloween-specific episodes.
Oh, yeah. I remember it.
I don't remember the Halloween episodes, but I remember the horror episodes they had.
Is it the one where they think their friend is a vampire?
Yes, Stinky was a vampire, and it's revealed at the end he is.
Yes.
And then I remember the one where there's a headless... What was it? There was like a carriage, and there's like a woman who says, will you take this scarf? And then she chops off someone's head or something. It was something like that.
Wow, I forgot about that.
I don't remember the Halloween-specific episode. Maybe that one was a Halloween. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah. It happens a lot.
Yeah, because we have a tremendous amount of ADHD.
It's crazy.
So, Kyle, you are the guest. So you can pick the first one. You pick the first one. Your first choice.
Oh, okay. They're in no particular order.
No particular order.
No, I'm just gonna. You just saw what mine was gonna be.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Ed and Eddie Halloween episode.
Now, why did you pick that one? And also, can you describe it a little bit too?
It is pure. I think most of my list is just purely nostalgia. Anything that, basically, the way my list works is nostalgia, and anything that they probably played on repeat every Halloween, on the whatever network it was on. So Cartoon Network always played this every Halloween for a few years. It's great. It's a classic. Ed and Eddie is my favorite cartoons animated kids show. So that pretty much sealed it for me. But this episode, it starts off with all the kids want to go trick or treating. Eddie has like a map to another neighborhood that supposedly gives out giant candy bars. and they want to go out and like it's like a treasure hunt in the beginning. And Ed, I guess he just did like a 24-hour monster movie marathon, and he throughout the episode he pretends like he's like a folk hero, and he starts having like visions of like all the horror movies he just watched. So like as they run into like all the neighborhood kids, he'll just like go into a weird like trance, and he'll like see the kids as like more exaggerated versions of themselves. Like their costumes will get bigger, and it'll like kind of turn into like an episode of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, where it'll be all exaggerated and weird, and then he just obviously beats up all the neighborhood kids. And then it turns out that they went in a big circle on their map, and they just end up back in the cul-de-sac. And then Ed just like puts them all in a giant hole, shuts the door on them, and is just like, yeah, we're not leaving until tomorrow morning, but I did it. I killed all the monsters, so we're good to go. And he just like hangs up his costume and spatula that he used to kill, or not kill, beat everyone up with. And then the neighborhood kids find them and just beat them up. That's classic Ed, and Eddie.
I vaguely remember this. Didn't it start off with the Canker sisters also?
Yeah, they're like
Were they like witches or something?
like a giant cyclops, like 3-headed monster kind of deal, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
they were in the episode. Okay, because
Yeah.
I have memories of an Ed and Eddie thing where the Canker sisters start off as witches.
Ooh.
Maybe that was another Halloween
It
episode.
could have
They might have
been.
been. I wouldn't be surprised if Ed and Eddie did 2 Halloweens.
Yeah, there was also the Dream episode where they're giant kaiju monsters and they shoot laser beams out of their armpits. So, it could have been just a regular episode.
My mom specifically hated Ed and Eddie, but I loved it. I don't think I saw the movie.
It was
But
very good.
But I remember the ending when I did see clips of the ending where it's Eddie, right? Eddie's brother shows up,
Yeah.
and then everyone kind of teams up to defend the Eds.
Yeah. It turns out his older brother's a jerk, and it like finally brings everyone together, and it's probably one of the best endings to a children's cartoon.
Because they're finally accepted by the
Yeah, they finally get accepted by everyone. It's amazing. It was a great send-off for the show.
but that's a really good one. I think that sounds like fun. It kind of captures the feel of trick-or-treating and trying to get the big bars.
Yeah.
Surprised they weren't going after Jawbreakers.
Yeah, I think that one they just stuck to like mainly candy bars. But I know the cool thing is every time he goes into like his trance, it kind of looks like older horror movies. They go for that kind of vibe. They go for older like I want to say like 40s and 50s style.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that part's
like
really
black
cool.
and white.
Yeah, like a reel, like an old school like movie reel will like pop up, and like the kids will like be like transformed into a weird monster, and it looks like old school like television. It's fun. It's a good time.
That sounds like that does sound like a good time, honestly. I wish that show was still going on.
I know, but that's my pick. Do you want to go for yours?
Yeah. So again, these are in no particular order. 2 of these are probably lame, but they're very nostalgic for me. This one is The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Ooh, I knew someone was gonna pick it. It was gonna be one of us.
I grew up on the Peanuts specials, like the Christmas one and even the Thanksgiving one. I didn't grow up on it, but I found that one later.
Mm-hmm.
But the Halloween one, I think, was it was either the first or second one that I saw, and it's basically Linus doesn't really believe in Santa Claus, but he believes in something called the Great Pumpkin, which operates the same way, only on Halloween, where he flies through the air and gives all the good children presents. And there's things like he's like instead of Christmas carols, there's pumpkin carols, and the lore behind the Great Pumpkin is that you have to wait in a pumpkin patch for him to appear, and you have to wait every Halloween to do that. Everyone thinks this is so stupid because Linus wastes his time every year. He misses out on trick-or-treating, and his sister always puts him down for that.
It does sound like a bad idea. I'd probably be with the rest of the kids too.
It's a horrible idea, and you get cold. There's bugs. There's the stench of pumpkin. Actually, pumpkins smell pretty good.
I'd make fun of him too. I'd be sitting there eating my candy in front of him, saying, "You missed out, kid."
Oh, got some almond joys. No, I know no one likes almond joys. But he convinces Charlie Brown's sister Sally to join him in this excursion because Sally has a mad crush on Linus. And there's also a subplot with Snoopy and Charlie Brown, obviously. But the ending is really what sells it for me. Is where Linus he, again wastes his time and doesn't partake in Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucy wakes up in the middle of the night and she finds that Linus is still out in the pumpkin patch, freezing to death, no less. And she takes him back into the house, puts him in bed, and just walks off. And it's kind of a sweet thing, especially because if you know the Peanuts, Lucy's kind of mean to Linus, so that was a nice thing to see. But also, Linus doesn't learn his lesson because Charlie Brown's like, well, I guess you realize that was a pretty stupid thing you did, huh, Linus? And Linus goes on a whole rant as the credits roll about how he's going to keep doing this until he eventually finds the great pumpkin.
Oh my god.
But there's such a sad thing with Charlie Brown where, he goes to Lucy and he says, look at this, Lucy, I got an invitation to a Halloween party. He does this stupid little Charlie Brown dance. Mm-hmm. And Lucy says, Charlie Brown, you must have gone there by mistake. He's like, mistake? There were two lists. One to invite and one not to invite. You must have gone on the wrong list.
Damn.
And then if you thought he couldn't catch a break before, he is at the party, and they stop him, and two people, including Lucy, I forgot who the other one is, they're like, Charlie Brown, we want you to model. I was like, me? Model? And they turn him around, and they take out a Sharpie, and they also bring out a pumpkin, and they're modeling the back of his head to see how they should figure out the jack-o'-lantern. And they're like, wonderful, Charlie Brown, you were a fantastic model.
Heck yeah. Without them, they couldn't carve the pumpkins.
Yeah. It's fun. It's not scary or anything like that, but it kind of captures like Ed and Eddie, the feel of going out trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and of course, every time they go trick-or-treating, Charlie Brown's in there. This poor kid can't catch a break.
No, he's bald.
He has horrible luck, but he makes this ghost costume and he cuts multiple holes, and
that's just poor design.
Poor design, and everyone gets candy and they're like, I got this, I got that, and he comes out, he's like, I got a rock. Like the adult literally threw rocks. Every house he goes to, they give him a freaking rock.
I never thought about that. So not only is he hated by the kids, but he's also hated. Adults. Yeah, the adults hate him, and they're just like, "Hey, this kid, yeah, we're giving him rocks for Halloween." And all the adults got together, collected rocks.
This was at the community town hall meeting. F Charlie Brown.
Were his parents also in on the joke?
Probably. They're the ones who came up with the idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they saw him cutting holes in his ghost costume and said, this kid deserves rocks. Yeah,
we're going to punish him. But that, it's fun. It kind of feels like a good kid-friendly Halloween special.
Okay, yeah. It's on every year, too.
It is. I also have because I collect physical media, I have the little Blu-ray set that has Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Halloween.
Ooh.
So it's on Blu-ray too.
Ooh, high def rocks.
High def rocks. Great Pumpkin, who still does not appear.
This is gonna sound weird. The only version of that special I've ever seen is the Robot Chicken special.
Yeah, I know. I was actually gonna mention that also, where he actually does summon the Great Pumpkin, and it's like.
And it's the horror movie Pumpkinhead. Yeah. Kind of, and then the giving tree kills it at the end.
The kite eating tree.
Yes.
Because Charlie, some people don't know this about me. I got into comic books because my grandfather left me his Charlie Brown comic book collection, and I started reading Charlie Brown. So there's a lot of lore to Charlie Brown apparently.
Oh my god!
And there's the kite eating tree. That Charlie Brown always tries to fly a kite, and the kite always gets attacked. A kite gets caught up in the tree, so that tree is filled with kites.
Bro, he lives in a town. He could go to other places. Why does he keep going? He's a glutton for punishment. I think he's the one that came up with the ideas for the rocks.
Probably. It's like a Miss Jekyll and Mr. Hyde scenario. He doesn't remember that he did this.
Oh my god, he has multiple personalities.
Yeah.
He's a psychopath. That's fine.
Charlie Brown, the psychopath.
Yeah.
All right. So Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin. That was my first pick.
Okay. We don't know what our choices are either, so
yeah,
this could be we could pick the same ones.
Yeah, or in suspense.
Okay, my second one, I actually didn't go for a specific episode. It's more of just the whole series in general. I did Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Oh, did you get that one?
Yeah, I did. Oh, I think Facebook just chimed on. Sorry about that, guys. Let me we exit out of that.
Oh no, you good? Dang, I didn't know. Dang,
I knew that was gonna happen eventually.
I knew it. I was like, I wonder if he'll watch it. I was like, well, I've never heard him really say anything about it. I was like, maybe this would be a safe choice.
I'll let you talk about this. So,
well, how about okay? So, first off, classic. It's been
Yeah.
around since what 1990, I think.
80s, 90s. I don't remember when The Simpsons came out.
89.
I would say late 80s to early 90s.
I know it started season 2. It might have been 90, 91. Either way, classic, been around forever. They played it every year. I remember always seeing it on TV and being like, what the heck is this? This is not regular Simpsons, and then just falling in love with it. I even remember the Burger King toys.
I do too. I had the Homer Simpson and it was King Kong.
Oh, that one was everywhere. I think that was just like a common one that everyone got, and there was like some rares. So it always made people want to go back to Burger King to collect them all.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm a kind of a connoisseur of fast food toys. I've collected many, including Atlantis and Bionicle.
Dude, I had
Hot Wheels.
I had the complete pirate ship for Return to Neverland.
Dang.
Because I had a family member who went to McDonald's and she would help get in on this, and it was pretty cool.
Did you get the Inspector Gadget ones?
I never completed it, but I did.
I remember those. They were crap.
Yeah.
They were very bad.
But they were fun. They were fun. I
Yeah.
remember Burger King with the Pokemons that when the Pokemon movies came
Ooh, yes. Those are good. But,
out. Back to Treehouse of Horror.
yeah. Love it. It's a classic. There's so many good episodes. There's so many good parodies. It's fun, but
Did you have a favorite one?
yeah, I was gonna say if you wanted to, we can both talk about our favorites. What is my favorite one? I from the most recent ones that they've done, I did like the It one.
I never saw that's a new one?
Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. They just basically do the whole It movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Because normally what I remember is they'll take the basic premise, but they'll change a whole lot to it.
Yeah, I think it's Krusty. He's It. The
Krusty's
It clown.
Pennywise?
Yeah, he's the It clown. From the newer ones, that's always good. Maybe from the older ones. I'm trying to like see what stood out. Maybe you know what? I got one. How about the Nightmare on Elm Street one?
That I was gonna say that with Groundskeeper Willie.
That
I was
one?
gonna say that was the second one that I watched, and I liked that was my introduction to Groundskeeper Willie.
Actually, I really liked the Twilight Zone one where they do like the one where the aliens come down and they're trying to like help them.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, we found their book. It's to cook humans. And he's like, wait, there's more space dust on this. And he keeps blowing on it. And he goes, how to cook for humans.
And then it keeps going.
Yeah, there's even more space dust. That one, I think I really like that one because I also like the Twilight Zone episode, the original.
How to Serve Man.
Yeah, that creeped me out when I was a kid.
I remember the Groundskeeper Willie one was good.
That's very good.
That was my introduction to that character, and he is one of, if not my all-time favorite Simpsons character.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, Treehouse of Horror episode I saw, which was also the first Simpsons episode I saw, was the one where the dolphins originally ruled the land.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is this kind of like South Park where everyone dies every episode and they keep coming back? I knew about South Park that Kenny would die every episode.
Mm-hmm. And
so I'm like, oh, is this the same thing where people die every episode? So I didn't know it was even the Halloween episode.
Oh, no way.
No, yeah. What's that? Oh, another one I really liked was the Homer Simpson hammock episode where he clones himself.
Yeah.
And I remember there's two gags that made me laugh. One is when you see all the Homers, you can see Peter Griffin in the background, and I don't know if they had to get the rights to do.
Oh yeah.
Or if they just, I don't know how that works.
Well, I know they were both on Fox Net. Well, they still are both on Fox
both
now.
on Fox.
Yeah, so probably very easy to get.
But I also, another one is when Marge is in bed with Homer and she realizes doesn't have a belly button. She's like, "Oh, you're one of the clones." So that means my original Homer, and the clone is like, "First one off cliff," because there's a spoiler for the episode. All the Homers are lured to their deaths by jumping off a cliff trying to get a giant donut.
Oh yeah, those are great.
And I like that one a lot.
There's also the classic time traveling one where he keeps going back in time and changing everything.
Isn't there like one where Ned is like a dictator or something?
Yeah, there's that one.
What's another? In general, I was kind of going on a kick with The Simpsons because my sister was watching it. One of my favorite one of the episodes watched, which I really liked, was when Mr. Burns buys all the newspapers. This isn't even a Halloween episode.
Okay.
When Mr. Burns buys all the newspapers so they can write good things about him. At the end of the lesson, the end of the episode, he learns that you can't buy all the newspapers. And he's like, especially Rupert Murdoch.
Oh my god.
Who owns? For those who don't know, Rupert Murdoch owns Fox and a lot of the newspapers. So that's a little jab at Murdoch, who I think is still alive. I
Probably.
Yeah. But you have anything else to add about? Because you brought this one up.
Yeah. Not really. I guess a unique episode would be the one where Homer hides behind the bookshelf, and he like goes into like the fourth dimension.
Oh, that one.
And it's all in 3D, and it's very weird.
Is it like Poltergeist kind of that they're parodying? Because there's like a
No, you know what? I think it's a parody of an old Twilight Zone episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where their little girl goes missing, and then they find out she slipped into a parallel universe, and they even do the same outline on the wall to make it look like this is where the door is, and then you can like step through, and whoever the scientist guy is in the episode, he jumps in with the rope. It's very Poltergeist.
Doesn't the episode end with Homer in the real world?
Yeah, that's also weird. It was weird.
And I remember...
It's gross looking.
Can you name... I do know the names. Can you name the two aliens that show up every Halloween?
Oh, man, it's...
They both begin with a K.
They do. Kang.
Yeah, that's one.
And Kronos.
Kodos. You're close.
That was pretty close.
I'll give you a B.
I'll take it.
But that was... they still run. They're still going.
They're still going.
There was a Bram Stoker Dracula parody too. They did.
Yeah, and they did a Death Note one based off the anime.
Oh, they did. I never saw that because I kind of stopped watching the newer episodes of The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. But I did know they made one off Death Note. Did they make jokes about how the Netflix one was?
You know what? I watched it. I think last year, or the year before. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I need to rewatch it to remember.
That'd be funny if they kind of took a jab at how people reacted to the Death Note franchise.
It was the live action.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you see Avatar released photos, the live action one of the Fire Nation? They released. I'll show it to you after this. Where you see Ozai, Azula, Zuko, Iroh, and General Zhao or whatever his name is.
I'm ready. I hope it's good.
We can only hope. But yeah, now we're going off track again.
Yeah.
Should I go with mine or do you want to go with yours?
Unless you have anything else to say.
I have.
Since it was both our choices.
I don't really have anything else to say about The Simpsons. They're classics. You can't go wrong with those. Those are more obviously for adults, or at least teenagers to adults, maybe.
I know other shows tried to copy it. I know I can talk about one because I know you didn't pick this, but
okay.
I know Regular Show kind of did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they started doing Halloween episodes, and they were like 3 stories each.
They're like anthology kind of non-connected stories.
They were connected in the episodes, but they weren't connected like in the main story. So if that makes sense, they were all. They didn't have to do with the main plot, but the whole episode was like one. It was like 3 stories, but they're all like take place in the same time.
Okay.
Like one of them is they find a cursed fortune telling machine, and it like 3 people go up and try to get their fortunes told. So it's like 3 separate stories. That one's pretty good.
So that's kind of like the thread that connects them all together.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think. Yeah. Well. You can do your number 3.
I'll do my 3. This is not anything groundbreaking or really even well remembered. Well, I don't think it is. There was a show on Disney Channel called Mickey's House of Mouse or Disney's House of Mouse, and it would basically it's like a clubhouse for Mickey Mouse and all his friends. And they would have all these characters. This was like a big crossover for the people like the Disney cartoons. They would have basically all these characters from different films show up, and they'd watch old Disney cartoons, like as in like the old Walt Disney cartoons, kind of like Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
They had a Halloween special, which was called Mickey's House of Villains, where the villains conspire to take over the show. It's kind of like Mystery Science Theater, where the plot's not really necessary. It's just you want to watch some old cartoons. These are all Halloween themed cartoons. There's some new ones, but there's some really good Disney cartoons on there. Like when Goofy freaking dies and he comes back as a ghost, and he has to learn how to be a ghost, and he haunts Donald Duck.
I think I've seen clips of that.
There's
online.
one where it's an old cartoon. I think it's just called Trick or Treat, where it's a Donald Duck cartoon where Huey, Dewey, and Louie go. Donald's such a jerk to his nephews. He's a jerk already, but especially to his nephews, because the nephews come trick or treating to his house, and he knows it's them. And he puts firecrackers in their trick or treat bags, and he laughs his ass off.
That is such an uncle thing to do, though. If you think about it, that is such an uncle thing to do.
But anyway, a witch comes down to help them, and they pull these tricks on Donald, and it's a good classic episode. There's also one called The Lonesome Ghost, which is an old classic Disney one. I think it's one of the ones where Walt voiced Mickey Mouse, because people forget Walt was the original voice actor for Mickey Mouse. But it's where they're literally ghost hunters, Donald, Mickey, and Goofy, and these ghosts play a trick on. They're bored, and they see in the newspaper that there's some ghost exterminators, and they hire Mickey, Donald, Goofy to come over to the house just so they can mess with them. And there's a payoff at the end, but it's pretty funny. But the thing that's really cool is you see, when you cut back to the actual club, you see Jafar is leading all these villains. He's talking to like Ursula, Cruella de Vil, Hades, who, again played by James Woods.
Oh wow!
A lot of the actual original voice actors are back.
Did they use old audio or was it
no?
New
It's
audio?
new audio.
Oh wow! Okay.
And they get a lot of the voice actors. Captain Hook's among them. Chernabog is in there.
Really?
Maleficent, the Queen of Hearts. The Beast is in the background when the villains take over, which is weird.
Because he's not really a bad guy. He's just
it's really cool to see all these villains together.
That's cool.
And that Jafar's leading them. It's pretty fun. There's some cool Halloween episodes or specials. I could have picked Goosebumps, but I really was obsessed with this as a kid, and the show was fun. I think you see the Haunted Mansion ghost briefly too.
Really? Oh, the top hat guy?
Like the Hatbox Ghost. I think it's mostly the hitchhiking ghost you see, but I could be wrong. But it's fun, especially because I really liked Jafar as a kid. I thought he was my favorite villain at the time. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the courage to put Frollo in there.
Oh my god.
That'd be funny. But yeah, that's my last pick. It's nothing. I will explain. Last question before I go on a tangent. Did you pick a Disney one for your last pick?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, is it Hocus Pocus?
No, because didn't that get a theatrical release?
I don't know if it was theatrical, but since you didn't, may I quickly talk about Hocus Pocus?
Of course.
And why I didn't put it on there? Because for years, everyone told me that Hocus Pocus was this Halloween classic, and I never grew up. And I never grew up with it. So maybe that's part of the reason why I think it's overrated.
Ooh, controversial.
Controversial opinion. I think if I saw this as a kid, I would have eaten it up. I would have loved it.
Oh,
Hocus Pocus is still talked about. They always release the Blu-rays and DVDs at where I work at around this time. There's a Lego set coming out based on it.
Yep.
Spirit Halloween has a whole bunch of Hocus Pocus merchandise. I just think because I saw it as an adult, and I could pick it apart. Like the kids are, not to an extent, they're kind of making fun of him for being a virgin or something. And
oh yeah, that part's weird.
That's weird for a Disney film, but it's also the witches are coming back to life, and they automatically can make kind of pop cultural references. Mm-hmm. But I didn't hate it. Before people jump the gun, I did not hate Hocus Pocus. I just think I was not the right target audience for it, but I do admit I would have liked it. I would have loved it if I saw it as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Did you have any memories of Hocus Pocus or not? Because I saw it way too late. I think I saw it 2 or 3 years ago, actually.
Oh wow!
The first time.
Late?
Yeah, I was that late. I saw it 2 or 3 years ago for the first time.
Wow! I was there, like growing up with it. I could. Who knows when I first watched it? I might have caught it on Disney Channel. Cause like if it did get a theatrical release, I wasn't there for it. So I'm pretty sure I saw it when it was on TV because it was on. It's been on every year for 20 plus years.
Disney Plus just made a sequel.
Yep, I haven't seen it and I don't know anything about it.
Neither do I.
Yeah, but yeah, I love Hocus Pocus. I grew up with it, so it's different for me.
Very.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's fun to watch.
I just wanted to bring it up because I feel like we're kids from the 90s, and people would be wondering, why is Hocus Pocus not on this probably?
Yeah, I want to say, you know what? I think Hocus Pocus is a less raunchy version of Monster Squad.
Yeah.
But for a late 90s, early 2000s crowd.
I can see that.
Yeah. It's like a safe version of Monster Squad.
Yeah, they don't talk about nards or anything like that.
No, you see a cat get ran over.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But then he just comes back to life because he's like a ghost cat.
I forgot his name. Who plays the zombie? Because he's in.
Oh.
He's a lot of suit. He does a lot of suit work. I think he was in the last thing I saw him in. He was the creature in Shape of Water. Guillermo del Toro's Shape of Water. Are you looking at them up or?
I am, yeah.
He was the Silver Surfer and
Doug Jones.
Yeah, that was him, Doug Jones. He was also in Hellboy, I think.
Oh yeah, he does.
He's done a lot of.
I don't know if you already said this. Yeah, he does a lot of Guillermo del Toro movies. He was the Silver Surfer. No freaking way.
He's the Silver Surfer.
He's the guy with the hand, or the eyeballs on his hands.
Yeah, in Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, what? I never knew this. Is he kind of like a what's his name? Darth Maul, Ray Parker.
Ray Park. Oh yeah, Ray Park.
Kind of like that. He just plays like a lot of like
kind of like athletic people, or
yeah.
Ray Park does a lot of stunt work, and Doug Jones does a lot of creature suit kind of work.
That's so cool.
Yeah, Doug Jones, I believe, is the zombie in Hocus Pocus.
He is, yeah. He was also in Hellboy.
He was the amphibian guy, I think.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's so cool. I didn't know that. Ooh, he was in Crimson Peak.
Who was he in Crimson Peak? Oh yeah, that was. Oh, I haven't seen Crimson Peak. Never mind.
Yeah, he was probably just.
I was thinking of something else.
I don't know if he was like the main monster, if he was just a generic like side zombie.
That was fun fact. Crimson Peak was what Guillermo del Toro made after he basically couldn't make the Haunted Mansion, his Haunted Mansion movie.
I'm fine with it. I love Crimson Peak. I'm perfectly fine with it.
But yeah, I just wanted to explain why I didn't put Hocus Pocus, or why Hocus Pocus might not is. Is there a reason why Hocus Pocus is not on your list? It's just probably a better one.
I thought it might have got a theatrical release, and I was mainly doing like just made for TV stuff.
Right.
So that's why I chose not to do it.
So Kyle, what did you choose? It's Disney related.
It's Disney related. It's Halloween. It is a movie.
Is it Halloween Town?
Yeah.
That was almost on my list.
Yeah, I did.
I just didn't have the best memory of it. Like, the plot details I didn't, but I do remember watching it.
I've seen Halloween Town, Halloween Town 2. I don't... What is it? It's not... I always want to say...
The villains...
Return of Jafar, whatever. You know?
Yeah, whatever the villain's name... Madakar or... I don't remember the villains.
Kablam, I don't know. But it's... There's number 2, number 3...
I went up to 3, I think.
I believe that's the one where she goes to college. And it's like a really cheesy... crappy version of Harry Potter, kind of.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. But it's fun. So, I chose Halloween Town. I almost said Hocus Pocus. I chose Halloween Town because that's another one. Grew up on it. It was always on TV. It is a classic. It's so much fun. It's like, I mean, she finds out she's a witch, and then they find out their whole family are witches. Go to it, and then on top of all that, first off, that's just cool on its own. And then you find out there's a whole town
for Halloween people.
Oh yeah, and she's like a giant Halloween nerd, and she's just like, oh, there's a whole town based off of this. Yes, please. And they go there. The town is beautiful, like the way they built everything. It's got a lot of like creativity. All the weird townspeople. They're all like based off of like generic Halloween costumes.
I remember the cabbie mostly, the skeleton cabbie.
He's awesome. Yeah.
There was a werewolf barber, which I thought was funny. A guy with all this hair and he's a barber. What There was the weird kid. Who
I
was
remember all the kids were ugly.
There was the normal looking kid, who then at the end, because he made a deal with the villain, you see what he really looks like. It's like a goblin kind of guy.
Oh yeah, he's like the love interest for her. Yeah. He looks like just like a troll or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
The villain is amazing.
I remember the villain scared me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's. So yeah, the theater, the movie theater.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, the computer just the screensaver went up.
Okay. The villain. Remember how he like captures everyone like in the movie theater and like
that scared me.
There's this like a projector of him and it's like wind blowing on him and it's all dramatic and he's creepy. And he just sucks their essence out.
Keep going.
It's terrifying, and like they just turn into like gray versions of themselves, and they're just like boring and
they're like kind of corpse like.
Yeah, he sucked the life out of them. That's terrifying. It's cool. I really like the first. I like the first. I like the second one's alright, but.
Did you know that the mom is April O'Neil from the '90s Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, that's right. It's one of those things where I never put it together unless somebody says something. It's like you keep seeing it every time you watch the movie. You're like, it looks so familiar.
The Graham.
Debbie.
Is that Debbie Reynolds?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. I knew it was. I was trying to remember exactly who it was, but that's Carrie Fisher's mom.
Oh, that's what she's supposed to be. Okay.
Yeah. But I think in 3 they or at least one of them they recast the main child actress, because I saw an article recently about how she opened up about being recast or something. I think
was she recasted in the third one? Or no, you know what? They don't recast her. I think they just boot her out. If I remember,
really?
in the third one, I don't think maybe she just doesn't even show up. I think they're like, oh, she's at school, or oh, she's, doing something. I think that's what happens in the third one. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait. Time out. I thought you were talking about the younger sister.
Oh, no.
That's my bad. You're talking about the main character.
They're talking about the main character.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. Because I remember I was confused. I was like, okay, what happened to the girl? She was in both movies. Now it's this other chick.
Which is ironic, because Judith Hoag was in herself recast in the Ninja Turtle franchise after the first movie. So there's a whole bunch of recasts in this family.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, yeah, I wanted to bring that up too. I don't know what happened. I'm going to look into that. I always tell myself I'm going to look into it, and I never do.
Yeah, she opened up about that recently. I didn't read the article, because I always assumed that was the same actress, actually, in the third movie.
Oh, no, it's a completely different person.
Okay.
Yeah, but the one thing that always bugged me every movie is the annoying brother.
Yeah.
He's so annoying.
The little nerd who's afraid to do anything.
It's like, bro, you have magic. Get in on that.
Isn't he like a warlock or a wizard?
Yeah,
or what do they call him?
Yeah, he's a warlock, and that's awesome. Like, oh, you just found out you have magic powers?
No, it's scary. No. I remember the second one. The thing that scared me most, they all turned into the villain's son or whatever. Turns all the people who are wearing Halloween costumes into what they are.
Oh,
they're dressed
yeah.
up as. And Judith Hoag is like a zombie witch thing, and she turns into that creature, and it terrified me.
And doesn't he turn all the Halloween Town people into normal humans?
I think he does.
Like the skeleton guy gets skin.
Oh yeah, he does. I was so bummed. I think in the first movie, either that he's under a spell or he's briefly working for the villain or something. But he attacks the main kids in the first movie, but then after that, he goes back to being good. So I was so bummed when I saw it. 'Cause I'm like, oh, I like that guy.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just a normal taxi driver.
I'm just a skeleton, though.
Yeah, I have skin now.
I almost put Halloween Town on my list. That would have been funny. We would have 2.
Oh my god. No, I like it. I'm glad we don't talk about it. It's funnier that way.
But I think there were 3. There might have been a 4th one, probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a 4th one, but I think there was just 3.
I think it was just 3.
I remember seeing all 3 of them. I think the brother, the stupid little nerdy brother, is in all 3 of them.
Ugh, I know. They recasted the older sister, but they couldn't recast him.
No, you can't. recast Mediocrity.
Oh my god.
I remember the purse was cool that Debbie Reynolds had.
Yeah,
it was like a living creature.
Yeah, that was cool. He just pulled out random crap out of there.
Yeah, it's like a twisted version of Mary Poppins purse.
I like the bus. I like the giant pumpkin that has like the candle in it in the town square.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember when the villain like disappeared? It's like it was like Rapture was happening kind of because it's in the middle of the day and there's like all this wind floating. And,
oh yeah, with the power of friendship and family.
Yeah, there you go. That's what Disney teaches you.
Mm-hmm. And was it ancestral magic?
Yeah, there you go.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible, and you're ripping off Harry Potter.
Yeah, basically.
Did this come out first or did Harry Potter?
Ooh.
I'm gonna look that up.
I'm gonna vote Harry Potter came out first.
Harry Potter, I think, was 2000 or 2001.
Yeah.
Let me see. What Halloween Town.
2002.
Came out in 1998.
Damn.
But then, when did Sorcerer's Stone come out? The book. You know, I don't need to do this. I don't care. I honestly. But those are. Do you have anything else you want to add about Halloween Town?
No, but another. What do you call it? Like a runner-up.
Runner-up, yeah.
Was it's really random. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody horror episode where there's a ghost in one of the rooms.
I kind of remember this too.
That scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
It's like a Shining homage, kind of, with the hotel.
Yeah, that terrified me because there was a ghost at the end of the episode.
That's always one of my favorite things, tropes. When the whole episode's, it turns out it's like a prank or something. But then there's something at the end that hints that it could be real or something like that.
Yeah, that always creeps me out.
Scooby-Doo did that a lot. I remember there was a Loch Ness Monster Scooby-Doo movie, and both times there were robot Loch Ness monsters. But at the very end, it's hinted that the Loch Ness Monster is really real, and Scooby goes, Scooby-Doo?
Oh my god.
And so Scooby-Doo would do that a lot, where they would have the fake thing, and at the very end, it would be revealed, oh, there might have been a real monster.
Bum, bum.
Bum, 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 bum. We talked about Scooby-Doo last time, I believe, on Zombie Island.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one to watch. Would that count as a Halloween special, or was that did that get a theatrical release? Do you know?
I think they all got DVD releases.
Okay,
so that because I would have done the one where they copy the Great Race, but it's like at Dracula's castle.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because it's the reluctant werewolf, right?
Yeah. That's a classic.
I remember there's a lot of good ones you could pick for Scooby-Doo for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
We have time because do you want to quickly talk about the SpongeBob one? Because I think this was the very first SpongeBob Halloween episode, the one that you mentioned where it was SpongeBob Scaredy Pants.
Oh yeah,
where
I'm trying to remember much about it.
Where it's they talk about the Tale of the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, they scare him at work. That's the first thing they do, right?
And Squidward says, "I've come for your pickle."
That was a really good impersonation. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, they scare him, and so that's the point of the ghost costume, is so he can go back and scare them. And they doesn't he fly in on the ceiling?
Patrick does the voice. I am the Flying Dutchman. Booga, 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 booga.
Oh my god, I forgot about all that.
And what's another thing that happens in that episode? Like when
does the Flying Dutchman actually show up?
Yes, he does show up, and
that's his first appearance, right?
That's his. I believe that might have been his first appearance. There was also another one. I think it was, but there was another one when Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob, and Patrick go for the Flying Dutchman treasure hunt. I always thought that was the first one, but his first appearance, but I could be wrong.
I think this was the first one.
I remember Sandy is like a fish in a bowl, and she tells that to Squidward, and she's like, I don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
Because her little...
she dresses up her head as like a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
What's Mr. Krabs?
I don't know if he was anything. I think because the party was at his place. I think Pearl... Oh, no, he wasn't anything. He does the body for apples, and he starts choking on an apple, and Pearl's like, Dad, you're embarrassing me!
Oh my god.
Pearl, I think, was the bride of Frankenstein. Squidward was the Flying Dutchman.
He was just like in a Long John Silver's, like, fisherman's outfit.
There you go. We were talking about Clancy Brown earlier today because he shows up on the Ahsoka show, and Kyle, you were like,
money.
money, 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 money.
Give me a random kid show. I'll see if I remember the Halloween episode.
What was the Hey Arnold one?
Oh, was it the bat one?
What was that? I don't think that was the bat one. It was just the kid was he saw, I forget which kid it was, but he's convinced that Stinky was a vampire after watching a vampire movie. But I don't think that was Halloween specifically.
Do you remember the Codename Kids Next Door one?
What was? I know there was. Was it the one with Spankula or whatever his name was?
I think it was. I think that's.
Or he wants to join the Kids Next. Or was there a specific? I know there's.
Oh, I messed up. I have a better choice that I probably should.
Okay, what is it? We have time.
The Billy and Mandy.
Oh, that one was on my list too. It's the one with the jack-o'-lantern guy.
That
right?
one was That one wasn't terrifying, but that one was creepy because they go over the lore of the Jack. What was his name? Like
Jack Pumpkinhead.
Yeah,
or something like that.
He was just like a prankster in like ye old what's their town again?
I don't remember what the town was called.
I forget what their town's called, but it's like ye old,
town.
Not
Townsville, but that's another show.
Yeah, but they go over like his lore, and apparently their town had like a king or a queen, and he's like, this town didn't have a queen. He's like, shut up, who's telling the story? And he like pranked her too many times, so like a knight had to go and cut his head off. Turns out it was Grimm, and like he tricked Grimm somehow. He's like, oh, I'll give you your scythe back if you give me like
eternal life or something.
Yeah, and he goes, okay, and he like gives it to him,
and he chops off his head.
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, you're gonna live forever, but you don't have a head, so good luck with that. And he carves a pumpkin. So
and then what happens? He gets the scythe because Billy is dressed up as the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, and I think Mandy was she
a lawyer?
Wasn't she like Shakespeare related? Because she has like Grimm's head as like a prop.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then remember Erwin keeps his costumes. I guess they're like he dresses up as like a princess, and then like
that doesn't surprise me.
A frog, and she's like, you need to be like something scary, and it just keeps getting worse and worse until at the end he's like the Dark Knight, and it scares the jack-o'-lantern guy. He's like, oh my god, the Dark Knight has returned. And it's Erwin, and they try to outprank the jack-o'-lantern guy. And he has like a pumpkin army.
I remember there was on Cartoon Network's website there was a video game for that specific episode.
Yeah, you have to throw the toilet paper.
Yeah, I play that all the time.
I should have done that episode. Oh man,
I almost put that on there.
Oh,
I don't know if this one would count, but you talked about Sleepy Hollow. I watched it twice this month. Once with my mom, once with my sister. It was the Adventures of Mr. Toad and Ichabod Crane. I skipped to the Ichabod part.
Yeah. Screw Mr. Toad.
Yeah. that ride is basically about going to hell.
Oh my god.
That's a discussion for another time, though. But it's basically the most faithful adaptation of Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it's terrifying.
I do remember the part where he does get chased down by the Headless Horseman, and it is creepy.
It's creepy. And also, but I realize as an adult that all the three main characters are horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. Like Brom Bones is a mean prankster who bullies people so he can get what he wants. He's like the proto Gaston. Katrina, what's her name, is just teasing all the guys like, oh, I want to be with this guy, or do I want to be with this guy? Ichabod abuses his power as a school teacher so he can either be flattered by women, but what he really wants is just to eat. He's a skinny man who uses position. He grades kids based on how well their moms can cook.
What the heck?
And he wants to marry Katrina for her fortune. These are all horrible people.
What the heck?
The Headless Horseman is the most redeemable person.
Oh no! Is he the hero?
He's the hero, and he's in the very. And it's found out after doing some research. When I obsess over something, I do research. The Headless Horseman's laugh is a stock laugh that you can get. It's like a public domain laugh that they added like an effect to. And I clicked a link, and I did find the Headless Horseman's laugh.
Whoa.
It was pretty cool to come across that. You could find it like if you go on the Disney Wiki page, because everything has a wiki.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take you to like if you go on the Headless Horseman's page, it'll take you to where his laugh is, and you can get. It's like a public domain laugh file.
That's cool.
So that was a neat little discovery. It shows Walt was cheap. No, I'm kidding. Maybe he was. I don't know.
Who knows?
But didn't know if that would count as a TV special or not, because I didn't know if it came out during the TV era or not.
Was there a Jimmy Neutron?
Yes, there was. I almost.
Oh my god!
I was going on a rabbit hole looking at all these things. This is the one where Jimmy's machine does something stupid where Carl turns into an actual vampire and Sheen turns into an actual werewolf.
Oh my god!
And Jimmy's father, hi there, sugar booger.
Oh my god, he's so good at that.
He turns into the Frankenstein monster, and what happens is Carl turns Cindy into a vampire, and Sheen turns what's her name, Libby, into a werewolf too, and Jimmy has to turn them all back. It's like Terror on Retroville or something like that. But I remember.
Wow, I don't remember that at all.
I remember it. When I was just looking at the titles on the list, I was like, "Oh, this is taking me way back."
I kind of remember the Fairly Odd Parents one where it was like costume related.
Oh, where the popular kids are in like giant robots.
Yeah, and I don't even remember what it was about. Was it like it was just costume related? That's all I remember.
I remember that one. There was a few. I think there was another Fairly Odd Parents one. I'm sure there was a Rugrats one. I think Roseanne, the show, actually started coming up with sitcom Halloween episodes because I think Roseanne Barr advocated for a Halloween centric episode.
That's cool.
Yeah, but we do have some time. You've mentioned it a few times. Would you like to quickly mention one or a few of your favorite Twilight Zone episodes? Because they're, while not necessarily Halloween centric, they're good to watch, I'd imagine, during Halloween.
Oh wow. There's a good one where there's like a U.S. Navy. I don't know if it's like a frigate or what kind of ship it was, but it's like traveling through the ocean, and they hear like banging, like someone's banging on like a metal wall, in the underwater, like pretty deep, and they suspect it's like a submarine, and there could be people trapped, like trying to bang, like make noise, to attract like other ships. So they send like a diver down there, and while he's trying to investigate the submarine, I forget how they find it, but they find the number on the side of the submarine, and I don't know his position on the boat, captain or whatever. He like goes, "Oh my god, that number." He goes, "I know this submarine. He goes, "I was on that submarine when it sunk in World War II." And he's like, "No, don't." And he starts going through like crazy hallucinations. He sees his old crew come back as ghosts, and they're basically hinting. They never say anything, but they're hinting at like they want him with them buried in the ocean. And then the other person on the boat is like, "Oh, what happened?" Then he goes, "Well, I was in charge of basically like covering their like headlights on their submarine so no one else could spot them, I guess. Something happened and they ended up getting surrounded, and just their submarine was hit with a bunch of torpedoes, and they sank. And I guess when their boat was hit, he got flown overboard, and everyone else got trapped in the submarine. They sank and died. So he like feels very guilty.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. And then when the diver goes inside the submarine, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The captain is freaking out. They try to calm him down. They're like, "It wasn't your fault. It sounds like you guys were screwed to begin with, because if they were already surrounding you, you're pretty much goners anyways. You just saw it coming." And then he's like, no, and they need me. And he like runs, jumps off the boat into the water, and they like never find him. They don't know where he went. And then the scuba diver that's in the submarine, he's like looking, and there's like nobody left. There's just skeletons left in there, but one of them has a wrench in its hand. So I don't know.
That's kind of one of the reasons why I couldn't do Twilight Zone, because I would get freaked the heck out. But again, that was when I was little. I could probably deal with it now.
That's a pretty good one, huh?
That is a good one. I just grew up on like Star Trek and the Munsters. Never really much Addams Family, but the Munsters I grew up on.
Addams Family movie for me, both of them.
That was a pretty good Halloween kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But we're now going off onto the movies, and I think we've kind of covered all that we have on the specials, at least some of our favorite ones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we'll have another Halloween episode. I would like to continue more of the podcast format with you, Kyle.
I'm cool with it.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. We just need to we need to figure out another way for Kyle to get a pair of headphones because we've had a little technical difficulty. We're still figuring out how all this works.
Yeah, I'm raw dogging it over here, so I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. we like I said at the beginning, we did our worst, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kyle, thank you for joining me, sir.
Of course, I will shake your hand, even though no one can see it.
No one can see that.
We totally did it. I swear.
And in case we don't see you all, happy Halloween. And we'll try and come up with another episode for the podcast. Mm-hmm. Maybe we wanted to do one for Friday the 13th, but we did. Kyle.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. We could have done our favorite Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
I watched Jason Takes Manhattan on Friday the 13th, by the way.
Fun fact: he's barely in Manhattan. He stands in Manhattan. He stands in Times Square, and that's about it.
I have so many things to ask you about that movie.
We'll save that for. We might do a Jason-centric episode. That'd be fun.
I'm down. Jason X is the best. I'm putting it out there.
I think that's. I will end it with saying I think it's an intentional comedy.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Take care, everyone. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.